Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone! So today I am using the Life is Beautiful line from Fancy Pants. It is one I recently picked up at a Tuesday morning, so I have not used it before. I did get one piece of paper once in a kit, but that's the only thing I ever had from it. And as with most Fancy Pants lines, my one issue with them is they only have one or two pieces of paper where all the colors of the line are used. The majority of the paper is either single colored or tone on tone. And for me, as I'm a pattern mixer, that is so difficult for me. And the papers that have multiple colors are, first of all, both very bold. There's a bold floral and a bold plaid. And second, because there's only two, they tend to go first. So then what I have left are sheets of paper that tonally go together, but I have my green paper and I have my yellow paper and I have my black and white paper and I have my neutral paper. And like I said, I like to mix my patterns up, so these tend to be more difficult for me to use. Now, you'll note it did not stop me from buying it because I think their papers are absolutely beautiful. I love this green tone on tone paper that has like a look of uh, outdoors, but obviously it's not actually outdoors, it's paper. Anyway, originally my plan was to do some mixed media in the sketch we're using, which it doesn't have the name of who it's by, but it does look like a Chamel sketch, so it might be one of hers, like an older one. So here are the papers I am using. I have Porch Swing, Cactus Bloom, Sweet Summer, Fancy Floral, and Summer Picnic. So these all came out in, I think, 2016, so they're not super available, but just in case someone had a chance to get their hands on it and they wanted a certain one, I wanted to let you know which ones I was using. So as I said before I interrupted myself, I was originally planning on using some mixed media, but in looking at the sketch, this yellow piece of paper that's a very tiny crosshatch very much matches the sketch, and I kind of went, oh, it's too perfect to kind of not use. So instead of doing mixed media, I am going to use that yellow paper. I am going to matte very thinly all three of my photos with the plaid piece of paper. And see, this is why the multicolor papers for me disappear, because I love to pull in all of those colors from the line to stretch across the whole layout. So I'm going to stick very closely to the sketch. I'm going to put my title on the left hand middle square, and I'm going to do my journaling on the right hand middle square. The only thing I'm not going to be doing is that portion at the bottom where there is extra journaling, because my photos are bigger than the photos in the sketch. I believe the photos in the sketch are 2x2 rather than a 3x3, and I think even the larger photo is smaller as well, whereas mine is just a 4x6, and I just didn't feel like cutting it down. So we're good to go. Now, the only thing I am going to change up is the length of that yellow piece of paper. It is too long right now, so I will fix that up later. I use these yellow puffy stickers from Fancy Pants that actually came as part of the kit to spell out part of my title, and then I use these little mini tile stickers from Webster's Pages in a wood grain color for the rest of my title. Now, that title may not make sense because it's an acronym for Greater Hartford Youth Wind Ensemble, which is a band my nephew is a part of. So they had their spring concert just a couple weeks ago, actually, at the beginning of May. And I just got these back from being developed. Well, I don't know. Do you really develop cell phone photos? I don't know. Not a genius in that matter. All right, after I change my ATG, I'm going to go ahead and get all of this stuff glued down. I'm sticking very close to the sketch this time round, almost to the T. There are only a few things I'm changing up shape-wise. Obviously, my photos are a little bit larger, so I'm not doing that bottom portion of the sketch. But other than that, I'm sticking real close. I get my photos down, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a banner to go behind my larger photo, and I'm going to be using my Stampin' Up! Triple Banner Punch. It is one of my favorite tools. I definitely use it enough that it was worth the money. I mean, I think it was over $20, but it was definitely worth the money, and I've definitely gotten my money's worth for it, especially if you're a fan of Scrapbook Generation sketches where they use a billion banners. This is totally worth getting. All right, I'm debating as to whether I want to use that word smile. I don't necessarily want it to compete with my title, but I really liked the way it looked, so I am going to go ahead and use it, but I think, do I decide to do something else first? I don't remember, which is hilarious because I literally just made this layout this morning. It actually is the day this is going up, May 26th. I'm actually making my voiceover and I'm going to upload it right up. I normally have this done ahead of time, but for those of you who have children who are in school, if you're in the South or the West, they probably just got out of school. If you're on the East Coast, they probably have a couple more weeks, as my nephew does. And it is filled my days with concerts and awards banquets and events, and it's just driving me batty because there's no time to do anything else, and we are, you know, to the point, my nephew is a junior. He's coming up on college applications and scholarship applications and getting his SAT scores back. And so it's just a whole hot mess of just crazy timing and crazy emotions. So I just have not had a chance to really sit down and scrapbook a whole ton. And so I managed to get this layout done at the last minute. So all right, let's actually get back to the layout as I go off on my super duper tangent there. I've got these enamel dots. These are actually from Simple Stories. They're just part of my stash. And I did use that word smile from the Fancy Pants line. I also used those two cloud puffy stickers, but I just put them sideways and tucked them under just to be a shape rather than an actual cloud. I'm finishing up my journaling and I'm just talking about how it was super nice to actually be able to see my nephew in the band. He sits usually in the third row, in the center middle, just to the left, and we don't normally get to actually see him, but this time around he had a gap where I could see him, so I was super excited over that. Last thing I am going to do is add some mists from Shimmers. This is Night Moves, and it's kind of like a dark charcoal gray black color. That is my layout for today. Do not forget to go over and check out Christy's take on this sketch. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Bye, everyone!